Hey, what's up, everybody? Here's a no BS guide to cycling fitness. The purpose of this video is to try to have you improve as a cyclist, try to get you kind of to that next level, or to try to find ways to improve. This video is also kind of geared toward people who are first time getting into cycling. If you are into cycling right now, some of this stuff may not be new, but again, for a lot of experienced riders, there probably won't be much to learn from this video, just one small part. If you want to get into cycling, the first thing you're going to need is a bike. What is a bike? A bike is not a Huffy from Walmart. It's not a Mongoose from Dick's Sporting Goods. It's not whatever from Target. It's an actual bike from a local bike shop. I know you're going to sit there and whine and complain. I don't have thousands of dollars to spend on a bike. Trust me, you will want to spend $1,000 on a good bike than to spend $100 on a cheap bike. If you spend $1,000 on a good bike, you're actually going to get a quality bike, and it's going to last you a really, really long time. If you get a cheap bike, it's not going to be built with quality, and it's not going to last you very long. So spend the money and get a good bike. Think of it as investment into a hobby rather than spending money on an item. It's not a luxury item. It's a tool that you're going to be using to get yourself into better shape. The other big piece of advice that I will say is find a group. A group will help you out more than anything. They'll be able to point you to a good bike shop that has a good set of mechanics, and they'll be able to tell you what you need in order to get started. So the first thing is going to be eating and drinking right. First thing we're going to do, you're only drinking one thing during this, and that's water. Don't drink pop or soda or Gatorade or Powerade thinking it's going to be any healthier. Trust me, that garbage isn't healthier. You want water because it's going to help you stay hydrated. This summer of 2018, it's been super, super hot. If you get a heat cramp, you're not outside training. You're inside, and you want to try to stay outside as much as possible. So make sure you take water with you. Make sure that you eat properly. That's eating the right foods, all right? That is eating a meat, some vegetables, and some sort of carb in order to fuel yourself. If you're a vegetarian, then obviously cut the meat out. If you're a vegan, then basically cut out anything that has any taste to it, and then just eat plastic. Don't go on any stupid fad diets. Purpose of this isn't to try to push any sort of diet or anything like that. If you eat right and you eat the right things, then focusing on these fad diets isn't really going to help. All right. I don't know how much fat I consume in a day. I don't know how many carbs I consume in a day. I don't know how much protein I consume in a day. All I know is that I eat, and that's what helps fuel me. That doesn't mean going on these low carb diets where they promise results. These are for people who are going to go on these low carb diets and eat and drink Diet Pepsis. And when they go running, that means go to Starbucks and hang out with their friends in yoga pants. All right, that's not you. You want to eat healthy, eat properly. Also, there's no cheat days. All right, you go out, you ride 2 hours. That doesn't give you permission to grab Burger King on the way home. That doesn't give you the right to eat McDonald's bacon, egg, and cheese the next morning. That doesn't make it okay to go and get Wendy's ice cream. All right. If you want to get in shape and you want to get fit and you want to lose weight with this, you're going to have to eat healthy. And eating healthy meaning eating properly. A big step to losing weight is focusing on becoming a better cyclist. Get off the scale. All right. That number's only going to stress you out. Stop looking in the mirror. That's only going to stress you out. The whole point of this is to reduce stress, because if you go out and you get on the bike and you start cycling and you're not seeing the number on the scale dropping and you're not seeing the person in the mirror looking any better, you're going to end up becoming stressed out and not wanting to cycle because you're not seeing improvement, so you're going to go to something else. All right. The person in the mirror that you're looking at, they're already ugly. All right. No amount of cycling is going to make it any better. We're just going to try to make it a little bit more slimmer. It's better to focus on being a better cyclist than just straight up losing weight. If you become better, you're going to be able to ride faster. You're going to be able to ride for longer periods of time, which again is going to burn more fat. Right now, you might get out on your bike and you might do 10 miles at 10 miles an hour and you get back home and you're exhausted. That's great. All right. That means that you pushed it and you were doing what you needed to do. Next year, though, that's not acceptable. Next year, we're going to be doing 20 miles and 20 miles an hour. So then you're going to be in better shape. You're going to be going further. You're going to be pushing harder. You're going to be sweating a lot more. It's also more enjoyable. You don't want to be stuck with those 60-year-old ladies who complain about everything in the D group going to Did anyone else see that bird? That was really weird. It just interrupted my train of thought. Either way, you don't want to be stuck with those 50, 60-year-old ladies down in the D group going 12 miles an hour. All right. If you are faster and you're able to ride longer, you're going to be able to pick whatever group you go with. You want to do a social ride that day, go with the C group, ride 15, 16 miles an hour. You feel like pushing it, go with the A group that day. Remember, every single person started somewhere, and you got to get out there and get going. The goal is to see improvements. So what's the secret to becoming a better cyclist? There is a secret. When I first started, I looked everywhere and I wanted to know what that secret was. Everybody had that secret who was in shape, and I needed to know that secret. And that secret was consistency. It's better to put in 100 kilometers every single week and be consistent than it is to put in 400 kilometers for 1 week and then have your mileage drop all the way down to 40 and then come back up to 80 because you got busy. It's best to set distance and then stick with that distance. Shoot for quality over quantity. I don't care if last month you went 100 kilometers. Last month I went 300 kilometers, but you know what? I did that 300 kilometers faster than you did your 1,000 kilometers, and I did it. It was more enjoyable, and I was able to go out and do other stuff with my time. So make sure you focus more on quality rather than quantity. If you're worried that you're going to cheat and that you're not going to be able to do it, go for accountability. All right, use Strava. Buy a cycling GPS. They're not super expensive. Use your phone. Get a Strava account, a Map My Ride account. Doesn't matter. Any of those programs. Something so that it's posted online for everyone to see and everyone to judge you by. Get a friend. Go out with somebody. A cycling group, so that there are other people around you in order to hold you accountable for what you're supposed to be doing. Trust me. Nobody wants to go out there by themselves and put in the miles. Everybody wants to say that last month they put in 1,000 kilometers, but nobody's willing to actually put up evidence that they did 1,000 kilometers. That's why you need Strava, Map My Ride, any of those, a friend or a cycling group. You're much more likely to go out the door when you have a group of people to suffer with you. Remember, shared suffering's half the suffering. You need to set a goal. All right, set a goal for yourself. That goal can be, I want to do this race, and I'm not a big fan of saying I just want to complete this race. If you're going to waste money to sign up for a race, you need to set a goal for yourself. Top 10%, top 5, top quarter of the race, top half of the field, something. You need to set a goal. If it's a time trial, those goals are easier. All right, your goal for a time trial is to do X number of miles an hour or to go X distance. That goal might be an event. You want to do ride across Indiana. You might want to do 160 miles in one sitting. So you need to sign up for something like that. You need to try to find a way in order to complete all those goals in order to hit that event. It may be a ride. You might want to, at the end of the year, your club that you're with does a big ride, and you want to go with that ride, and you want to be able to do that with everyone. And that might be your goal, is to do that ride with your cycling group. Before I left to go to South Dakota, my goal was to do a metric century in under 3 hours. And I got together with the cycling group and we did it in 3:02. Not what I wanted, but you know what? I was still happy that I did it. Another goal might be you want to beat a Strava segment. Another thing that can help out is to get a training plan. If you get a training plan, stick with it. All right. Don't be 3-4 weeks into a training plan and say, this is stupid, I'm going to change it. You clicked on this video to get into better shape. You downloaded a training plan to get into better shape. So if you know everything already, first off, why are you watching this video? And second off, why'd you download the training plan? So if you know everything, don't waste anyone's time by sitting there trying to download training plans and deciding that 3 weeks into it, it's not helping. Stick with the training plan, whether it's 6 weeks, whether it's 14 weeks, whether it's 12, whether it's 16 weeks, whether it's 6 months. Stick with the training plan. You're not going to see improvements if you don't make improvements. At the very, very high level, you're going to need a coach. There's no getting around that. You're going to need to get a coach. If you're averaging on group rides 24 miles an hour, if you're up front doing the work, if you're doing 60 miles or 100K, and you're getting to the point where that's your plateau, it's probably best to go and get a coach. You're going to need that one-on-one training, and it's really worth the money. All right, I'm not a coach anymore, but for my subs on my Twitch account, which I'll link below, I do training plans, and I'll show you guys how to do it. It's not going to be the same as actually paying to get a coach, but it's a hell of a lot cheaper. Some tips for winter. All right, winter sucks. If you're like most people that in a civilized nation, you're going to have to train indoors. And training indoors can be fun, but don't force it to be fun. All right, realize it is what it is. No trainer that you ever purchase will feel like being outdoors. All right. You can look online and all these people will talk about, well, what about I want to do, I want the trainer that's going to feel the most realistic. I want a trainer that's going to, have the best road feel. This guy right here, Craig, is going across these boards. I want a trainer that's going to vibrate as I go across the boards. None of that really matters. All right. What do you need? You need a trainer, a speed sensor, or a speed and cadence sensor. You don't need a power meter. You don't need a smart trainer. All right. We're talking about just getting into it. It's nice if you have a smart trainer. When I first got into it, I had a dumb trainer, which is not a non-smart trainer. It had a speed, and all I had was a speed sensor. And I got onto Zwift and I got going, and that's all I had when I first started. And that trainer is broken since then, and then I've upgraded. So don't worry about getting the best of the best right now. If you don't know what to do over the wintertime, get a training plan. They have them on Zwift. They're part of the monthly fee in Zwift. When you start up, they're right there at the very top. You click on that and you get into it, and you're able to get a nice workout in for a lot less than if you were to go on a website like Training Plans. Again, if you're in that very high level or something like that, or you're in like the 20 or more, you might want to look at trying to get a Training Peaks or Trainer Road account in order to kind of get up to that next level. Find a group. Below, I'm going to leave a link to my Discord. Discord is a text and voice server. Get into the text server and say, hey, I'm going to be doing a group ride, or I'm going to be doing a ride on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And anyone who wants to join can go ahead and jump right in. Then hop into one of the voice channels and just sit there and chat with people. Remember, they may not be with you on the course. They may not be riding next to you, but shared suffering's half the suffering. It's someone to talk to. It's a way to socialize with other people rather than sitting there staring at a wall, staring at a computer screen, staring at Netflix, whatever it is. So try to have something to keep you engaged with other cyclists. There's a lot of other Discords besides mine. Slotwinski Fit has one. Zwift Community Live has one. Nathan Guerrera has one. There's a lot of them that are really good. Just make sure that you're in there actually talking to people. And if somebody joins your channel, make sure that you talk back to them. Don't just sit there and be quiet. And remember, the same secret to the winter is the same secret to summer. You got to be consistent. You got to get on there. For me, every Tuesday is a tempo ride. All right, that means every Tuesday I go outside to do a tempo ride without exception. In the wintertime, that doesn't change. Every Tuesday I do a tempo ride. Unless you're following a training plan, then follow whatever that training plan says. But if you stay consistent, you follow training plans, or you do whatever you were doing over the summer indoors, you're going to at least maintain what fitness you have or come out better. Most winters, I usually come out with about a 10 watt improvement. And the big secret is have fun. Remember, nobody is where they want to be in cycling. Today, I'm not where I want to be tomorrow or next week or next month. But don't let that stop you, all right? Don't let that stop you from trying to reach your goals or obtain your goals. Don't let other people be your benchmark, all right? Unless you're going to be racing, you should not use other people as your benchmark. When you're racing, you have to use other people as your benchmark because you have to beat them in order to score points or to win the prize. But just keep up with the consistency and keep up with the effort. Don't stress about lack of progress. If all of a sudden you're going to see very little progress, and then all of a sudden you're going to see a lot of progress, and then it's going to taper off. Once it starts to taper off, or if at first you're not seeing any progress, don't let that stress you out. If you keep going, you will get better. Don't stress about your starting point. Everyone starts somewhere. My first group ride, I was in the D group. And then I ended up getting dropped after an hour and a half. So just stay consistent with it. Everyone starts somewhere. Your goal is so that you get out of the D group and go to the C group, or you get out of the C group and you go to the B group, or you get out of the B group or go to the A group, or you go from an A group rider to an A group rider who's up front doing all the pulling, or you go from an A group rider who is now talking about going to nationals or getting into racing. Also, be careful where you get your advice from. I know you're watching a video by a random guy on the internet, but you need to be careful where you get your advice. There's a lot of bad advice out on the internet. There are people that claiming that going vegan will cure cancer. There are people that claim that vaccinations cause autism. And there's people that say that training indoors 24/7 without ever going outside is the best way to train. At Duathlon Nationals, there was a pro triathlete there, and he noticed that there was this 180-degree corner, and a lot of the triathletes crashed at that corner. And a lot of them did exclusive training indoors and didn't go outside. And they didn't understand that by being inside, you gain a lot of fitness, but at the same time, you lose a lot of bike handling skills because you're not able to keep your bike up and handle those turns and those corners, and how to ride with other people around you because you're constantly stuck indoors doing these rides. So be careful of where you get your advice from. If you have a quality, reputable coach, for the most part, they're going to provide you with pretty quality advice. Remember, hard work over time will yield results. Stay consistent, stay at it. Don't give up, and just keep pushing forward. You will eventually see results. Be careful though, too much hard work can result in injury. Every workout should have a plan, and having a recovery workout is a plan. And the last thing is, this really isn't that hard. All right, it really isn't all that hard. If you want to get fit, it just takes a little bit of work and some consistency. If you want to lose weight, it takes work, consistency, and watching really what you eat, not eating garbage, controlling the amount of calories you take in. Remember, calories in versus calories out. You want your calories out number to be higher. If you slim up, you will become a better cyclist. You'll be narrower, so you'll be more aerodynamic. You will have less body fat, so you'll be a better climber. So make sure that you just stay consistent with it. It just takes a little bit of hard work and consistency. If you have any questions, jump into my Discord and drop a message into the Zwift chat. Say, hey, I have a question about this, and I'll feel free to answer it. If you don't want other people to see it, find me. I'm listed as the server administrator. So just click on my name and send me a private message, and I'll respond back to you. I'm not going to get upset because you're sending me questions. I would rather have you send me questions, even if they're stupid questions, than to go outside and do something dumb, or to go outside and get advice from the wrong person and not see any results. So I would rather have you asking me that than just to go at it blindly. Again, like I said, it's not that hard. Stick with it. Good luck. This has been a No BS guide to cycling fitness.